This is my review of Terminator Salvation, directed by McG, starring Sam Worthington and Batman. I can go on about this film for hours. I'm going to keep this as short as humanly possible. The director for the film, it's McG. He's not a great director. He's very similar to Michael Bay, and we don't like him. But he does do this much like Michael Bay did with Transformers. He does this film fairly well. It's probably his best piece of work, but he's still not great. I feel that a lot of the film wanted to be Children of Men. And when you've got a post-apocalyptic film like Children of Men, and you want to do a similar style to that film, don't do the same thing. Do something different. Because people will just look at you and think, why are you copying that film? Children of Men was probably the best film of that year, and it was a fantastic film, and it still holds up today as a great piece of filmmaking. The acting in this film is very... You look at Sam Worthington, who does so well in this film. He's such a great character. He's really good to look at. He's really good to watch. Then you look at Batman. I believe his name previously was Christian Bale, but now people have seen him in The Dark Knight as Batman, and they seem to want that. Because in this film, he is Batman. Because that's all he is. He's so monotone and so depressing, and so he's not the John Connor we grew up with that we saw in Terminator 2. Show him being this person that cares so much for life and doesn't wield a weapon and doesn't do anything. He just cares for life. That's all he cares about. And it's this monotone, boring, depressing piece of crap. What happened to John Connor? And I actually blame the writing of this film for that. Speaking of the writing, my favourite part of Terminator 1 and 2 is the big action-y films that have lots of effects, lots of explosions, but the plot is great. The plot is brilliant. It's like a brilliant idea, and it works so well. This film took the plot, shoved it over the cooker, turned the cooker on, and butt-raped it. Because it ruins everything that the films have previously said. In Terminator 1, Kyle Reese says, they never move in daylight, they always move at night. Then suddenly in this film, he's saying, we always move in daylight, not at night. If you're going to make a sequel, watch the first film first, and take down plots like that on your script. The plot for this film is one of the worst writing. It possibly could be worse written than Knowing. The ending was terrible. The one thing I did like is the little references to the other two films. And I'll get into that in a bit. Another point of the writing is there's lots of little characters. They have one or two lines, and they could be really interesting characters, and they could play some part in the film. If they really want to turn this into a character piece, kind of, focus more on the characters, much like Terminator 1 and 2 did. But no, they don't care about that. The characters are just pointless. They're just... The idea of Terminator is about John Connor. This film focuses on Marcus Wright. Yes, that's good, but then use John Connor in a different way. The music is used very poorly in this film. We had a stable theme music, which worked so well and just resonated and talked about everything. And you got the right feeling going into the film with that piece of music. This film uses it in the worst way possible. That piece of music had more than that. It had a bit before it and a bit after it. They don't use those bits, and I feel that those two bits are very important in that whole piece of music. That just gives it a kick. The rest of the music is just used poorly. The music editing in this film is so bad. I want to punch the music makers in the face, and I never want to listen to the music again. And I'm going to sit down now and listen to the Terminator 2 soundtrack and cry and cry. Directing 6, acting 4, writing 3, music 4, rewatch 0.5, overall 35.